Okay, and who we got next? We've done these. Ah, yes, this is interesting. Andrew Merdith, University of Sydney, your time starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here tonight to talk to you guys about some really cool science that I did on Opal. Now, unfortunately, it wasn't about trying to fix Sydney's public transport woes, though I think that would have been a really cool project as well. But it was on Opal, the gemstone. And if you didn't know, Opals are actually really important to Australia. It's our national gemstone. It has particular cultural significance to many Indigenous people in the country. And it's also the lifeblood of many outback towns and communities throughout the inner centre of our country. Now, on the flip side to this, Australia is actually crucial for opal as well. We produce over 90% of the world's opal supply, which makes us the only economically viable source of gem quality opal in the world, which is really good on one hand, but really bad on the other hand if you consider the opal industry has been in decline for the last 15 to 20 years. So my research came into this and tried to alleviate that problem by giving the industry a bit of a kickstart into the new millennium. So, for my project, the outcome was literally that we built an opal treasure map. We built a map that showed where opal was most likely and least likely to occur throughout the extent of the Great Artesian Basin in Central Australia. Now, to give you an idea of the effectiveness of the map, we took an area roughly equivalent in size to Queensland, and we reduced that to something maybe twice the size of Tasmania. That was deemed probable to host opal. Now, I can hear all your minds screaming the question, how does this map work? So, for a minute now, we just need to pretend that we're opal miners. So we have our hard hats on, because safety is really important. We have our pick and our shovel, because we need to dig in the ground. And we also have our mining lease for about 100,000 square metres in the rugged Queensland outback. Now, as opal miners, your biggest problem isn't finding the proverbial needle in the haystack. Your problem is finding the haystack in the first place. Your problem isn't finding the opal in the ground, it's finding the ground to look for the opal. So the way the treasure map works, it isn't so much that it's an X marks the spot, dig down 20 metres and you find opal. Rather it says you have 100,000 square metres of hot, inhospitable, inaccessible, pretty beautiful but otherwise very intimidating terrain. Instead of looking everywhere, you should focus on this northwest sector where opal is most likely to be found. So the purpose of it isn't to replace or make obsolete existing technologies or existing exploration methods, rather it's to facilitate and enable them to be more productive. This goes for experienced opal miners but also first-timers as well, with the end goal being that more opal is produced and the mining industry comes back. So, just as I finish up now, it's probably really important to note this map, it's online. It's free to download, it's free for anyone to see and to use. So it means that if you want to be an opal miner, the only things you need are a computer with Google Earth, some long life muesli bars, and a rusty pickup truck.
So please stay till the end of the evening before you dash off on a new opal rush through New South Wales. Questions from the judges?
You clearly really don't like field work. Do you actually go out and ground truth the map?
So the way that this worked was for my honours thesis. I spent about a month and a half in Lightning Ridge and around Winton and Opalton in Queensland.
Did they give you an air-conditioned car?
Yes, they did actually.
What's the issue?
And that was really cool. I encourage everyone to try and meet opal miners. They're amazing people. So I spent a lot of time there, and then I created my honours thesis, and after that the publication came that we made the map for opal exploration.
Can I just ask you, said that the opal industry has been in decline for some number of years. So is that purely an issue of supply or demand? So
it's a lot of reasons. One of the main ones is there hasn't been a new opal town discovered since the 1930s. So Lightning Ridge, Cooper PD, Junda, Winton, they all exist, but the last one was discovered 80 years ago now. Since the GFC, a lot of the overseas markets have dried up, so Japan was a big importer, but because of that, they've stopped importing. Another big problem is just getting more expensive to mine. You need to have machinery, you need to have diesel to run this machinery, and because opal is done by sort of individual miners on small claims, it's hard to get sort of a lot of backing and capital coming to sort of start off.
And have you tested your map? and found opals yourself?
Not yet, but the map predicted there was a new opal find about 75 kilometres southwest of Lightning Ridge, and that was within the target area of the map. So it's being proved by someone, but not me yet, unfortunately.
You're not tempted to head out?
My supervisor found some opal in the field, and I was with him, and I had this really short flash of jealousy at why I'm worried if I go out, I won't ever come back.
Thank you very much.